Hey guys, how's it going? So today we got a treat for you. We have from San Diego Comic-Con the Ultimate Spider-Man. This is the Miles Morales Spider-Man. This is Mezco's 112 Collective. Pose, play, display. Their new motto that they've added to the boxes. Now this box is a little bit different than the ones that I normally review. This one does not have the open up panel, so you can see what's inside. It's got the art on the back instead of the inside panel. I don't know if this is a new style that they decided to go with, that they've slimmed down the packaging to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit more streamlined. Inside, I've already removed the figure, but inside it'll just be the tray and the parts. So I don't know if this is just because it's a con exclusive or what, but I'm okay with it. So let's bring the figure in. First things first is his nice little display base. I normally don't show off the display, but it's kind of exclusive, so let's get through it. Here is the figure. Put him on the base. Start him off like that. Okay, so I'll go through the accessories first, and then we'll get to the actual figure itself and how everything else works, and a nice little extra thing that they threw in. Armature. He is a Spider-Man figure, so you probably will want him like up and high. So here's the armature, which I normally don't show off, but there it is. Comes with 6 different sets of hands. He comes with the fist hands, which he comes with on him. He comes with a pair of splayed hands for like walls. You want to see that? Putting him up close. So he's like against a wall, and more of an open hand like that. Okay, and then he comes with the web shooter hands, which I am doing this review for a second time because I missed a couple things, and one thing I really wanted to point out. So you'll notice something a little bit different about that, and that's a prelude to something that's ridiculously awesome about this figure. Okay, he comes with 5 different webbings. I missed one of the webbings in the first review, so that's what I'm redoing. That's one of the reasons. Here's one where it's shooting out the web in a more of a webbing style. Here's one where it's actually hitting a wall, so it'd be like that. And then we have a short, very thin web, and then a bit of a thicker one. Okay. Webs look nice. They have almost a pearlescent color to them. They pick up nicely. There is one more web as well, which I missed in the back of the packaging in my first review. This is a wired Armature Web. This will coil if you wanted it to. So if you want to wrap this around something, if you want to have them hanging from something, you actually have a web that will work with. So there you go with that. I don't know how you would have him hold it, considering both his hands are either fists or opened or webbed. I don't know how this would work. I don't know if you can split this apart. No, it's all one molded piece, but you have this. So there you go. One extra piece which I really didn't know, so it was in bubble wrap in the back of the tray, was this, which really made me want to redo the review because this is something awesome. This is actually a magnetic just clamp. So if you have a place where you have something metal like a refrigerator, you can take your Spider-Man figure, put this around his waist, and the back of this photo tent is made of wire, so you can actually, well, it won't stick because it's a little heavy, but you can have them sticking off the wall. There's not enough metal back here to hold it flushly. It's only a little bar, but this is ridiculously cool for them to add to it. I love that they added this. This was so smart, very genius to bring in the packaging. Alright, so let's go over Miles himself. Actually, before we do that, I'll bring in the Hasbro version so you guys can see a comparison, which is something that everybody's been complaining about, that he is too big to be Miles, considering he is almost an adult size Spider-Man figure compared to the Hasbro one, which you can see here, which Miles is supposed to be a bit of a teenager. Well, he is a teenager. So you can see the size difference if you have the Hasbro version as compared to the Mezco version. The Mezco looks like more of an adult Miles as compared to the Hasbro, which is more teenager. So there you go. Alright, that's the best comparison I'm going to give you for that. I don't normally do comparisons, but there it is. In case you're wondering, the the figure, since he has like almost full cloth all the way down to his feet, the bottom of his feet are molded plastic, so he will stand nicely on a shelf. And also with the stand, he's got a nice little peg hole. Articulation is typical of a Mezco figure. You have nice articulation. You have the ankle, double jointed knees at the hip, waist, abs, shoulders, double elbow, wrist, base of the neck and top of the neck. So you got all those fun articulation points. You can get him into some really nice poses. He is fairly well done. It's going to be hard with the fabric, how it bends and shapes, but still nice. Overall, great figure. There is the same issue that I had with the Flash, that the head and neck are plastic, the hands are plastic. This piece here is fabric. You can see a little bit of a variation on the camera as to how when it switches from fabric to plastic. Not as bad as the Flash, because the Flash was one solid color. I think the lines on the spider webbing help the transition between the two, so it's not as noticeable. Also, you'll probably have him not straight up and down on your display. You're not gonna have him just stand there like that. Come on. Who's gonna do that justice to a Spider-Man figure just to have him standing there? You want to use the webs. You want to put him into a nice dynamic pose. So here is the really smart thing that Mezco did, and I'm not sure if Mezco can take full credit for it because I don't know if anybody else has done it. If you know somebody else who's done it beforehand, please comment so I can give the credit to the company that thought of this first. All right, so here we go. This is the thing that really put me over the moon with this figure, and I can't wait to see the Spider-Man figure that they're coming out with and the Homecoming as well. The webbing, how they actually have it fit in. This is nice. There's a nice little depthness to the web shooter hand. The webbing actually fits into the hand and comes up right into the wrist, so that when you plug it back in, you can't even see how that's attached. It looks like it's perfectly coming out of a web shooter. You can't get a better way to make it look that way. Now, I don't know if I've never seen a Hot Toys Spider-Man. I don't know if they do the same thing or not, but to me, that is perfect. Absolutely a perfect way to get Spider-Man to be shooting his webs and not look like it's ridiculously attached. It doesn't wrap around his wrist. It fits seamlessly. It's hidden perfectly. So if Mezco's the first one to do this, mad props, because that is just an ingenious way to do that. Look at that. It's absolutely perfect, and that really, you might not be a fan of the Miles Morales Spider-Man, but they are coming out with the Classic and the Homecoming, and if they're going to be giving the same type of accessories, the same style, the same mechanics as the magnetic grip and the web shooting, how can you not get this figure? And if Hasbro ever gets a hold of this figure and they don't see the ingeniousness of the web shooter and the web fitting into the actual hand, then they're missing out, because that's something that they should definitely, hate to say it, steal from Mezco. They should be doing that. I don't understand why they haven't done it. I don't understand why it took so long for that to be a smart mechanic to do. I'm glad that somebody finally did it, because that knocks it out of the park. You can have Spider-Man look like he's actually shooting a web and not make it look like it's a stupid accessory. It actually looks like it's coming out of his wrist. So there you go, guys. Now, he is sold out on Mezco, so you really can't just go buy him. He was available for everybody, which is, I applaud Mezco for that they actually had it available to every person that under the sun that wanted to get him when he became available. Obviously, limited supplies, etc., etc., etc. You couldn't just wait on him. You had to be ready and buy him when he showed up on their site. Before even San Diego Comic-Con started, he was up there, so if you missed out, I'm sorry that you did. But you had your chance. Everybody had a chance, and that's something that Mezco allows. They allow all the fans to get their exclusives as compared to other companies. So I applaud them for that as well. If you're not a big fan of Miles Morales, you can easily skip this character. But based on this review alone, he's a great figure, and it should make you think that if you really like Spider-Man, to definitely pre-order the classic version or the Homecoming version that's coming up as well, because the way that they did this figure is phenomenal, and those are only going to be even better than this one, just because he's more of a classic character and people are going to love him. So he will definitely sell out, probably both styles. That's the best I can give you guys. That's it. I'm out.